And the second dream is actually, I found it, two very short dreams I had last night that were rather similar in content in a way, so I've just sort of run them into each other because they last a minute or so each, with a common theme. The first one, I was walking up a street, I think as a teenager, and met a young version of an old workmate from some 40 years ago. We, two others I didn't know had joined us, walked along in conversation. That was the first so-called dream. And the second one, again, I was walking along a different street with apparently a school friend, when in the distance I saw coming towards us a girl classmate I recognised. I turned to my friend and asked him not to make me look stupid in front of her. Unknown to him, I was desperately in love with her. Unknown to her also. Her name was Anne. My own thoughts on this really. The common theme, of course, is renewing long past acquaintances, and in a way could be seen to have an ominous side to it, perhaps imminent death. Not that death in itself holds any fears for me, but it would be inconvenient for me at the moment for one reason or another. I know that I have several tap lines to sever and feel that time is running out, as Kevin is constantly reminding me, so I have to get matters sorted out. Relating this small dream reminds me of an old saying that I have long experienced as being true: everything comes to him who waits. In my own case, sometimes the wait has been literally decades, often the wanting having long since been forgotten, though not always. As a teenager, I fell in love not only with Anne, but with a city I'd never in this life at least been to, New York. I knew one day I would get there, and my huge collection of books and photos cut from magazines would one day be brought to life. In the event, it took nearly 40 years, but I did it, and for once in life the actuality was even better than the dream. As regards my teenage female infatuation, though it eventually faded after 2 or 3 years, and my not glimpsing her anymore after we moved on to different schools, and also a classmate I had who by good fortune lived up the same street as Anne, moved house. My school friend happened to have a school photograph of our class in which Anne was present, and I would often drool over it, wishing I had a photo of her, which I never did. Moving on nearly 60 years, how strange then that one day Gwen found on some social media thing a school photograph from 1955 showing her. One of our other girl classmates from the time was, it seems, trying to locate her classmates from that time. I stared at the picture in disbelief and explained its significance to Gwen, who kindly printed it off for me. I keep it in my desk at work and occasionally look at it when it comes to light when looking for something else. I wonder what it was about that girl. I can see she was pretty, but it was so much more about her all those years ago. Could it have been a past life connection? Oddly, the very name Anne has played a significant part in this life. I could write a list of the various girls and women who have had that name, either as their first or middle name, including Gwen, who have played a relevant part for me, for one reason or another. Who knows?
Well, yes, we have those experiences from time to time. I remember within the first couple of years with Paul, I had a girlfriend that I really liked. This was years later, probably about 3 or 4 years before that, in another county. And the whole night went through this longing period, and that was just to go through all those emotions and whatever, to re-experience all that. And then when I woke up in the morning, it all like dissipated. And so these are some of the things, because we have free will, that we carry with us. And yes, they're very nostalgic. In other words, we're very, they seem so very real, and we had the experiences. And if we try to hang on to them, you are the decider. You try to hang on to these things in the past and whatever. Well, they keep you here. They bring you back. You can note them, you can see, experience them. You did that for what it was, like living with your parents or whatever. But trying to keep these things going, that's a different story altogether. So we've all experienced many things. And from past lives, yes, we've all circulated many, many times around and around and around. And so this lifetime, we have an opportunity to go a lot further, become a lot more aware. But at times, you're going to go through those things because, you know, the boys are going to put you through different experiences, just like a training course. This is like boot camp in the military. It's going to be hard at times, and it's going to tear your heart out too. And sometimes you're just going to wake up in the morning crying, etc., and it's all okay. We go through everything, all right? And so to just weed out all these things that we don't need, but at the same time see them for what they are, so we can become more aware. And yes, they're on a personal level, and they're on all kinds of different positions and dimensions. So yes, Peter, again, we're all in boot camp here. We all go through a lot. We all decide our lives. So yes, thank you.
Right, thank you. I think that's about me done for this week.